Okay, if you want you to get you a cool 12 months in jail, then do what this guy did. Let me give you a backstory. He's a career criminal. And what he did was he squatted, well, first of all, he broke into the victim's home. She's going to testify how they took everything in the home, ripped up carpet, and even literally, they took her kitchen sink. You know, somebody said they took everything in the kitchen sink. No, they took her kitchen sink. So when they finally got this individual arrested and out of the way, might I add, he already been in jail at this moment, at the time of this video, 44 days. Um, he said it was cold and it was raining and needed some place to stay. Why you picked this lady's home? Right? Why you didn't do everything you could in life to be a good citizen to have your own home? Now, I do know a lot of people go through a lot of circumstances in life, but one basic principle you need to have is a home. Now, and the lawyer, his argument was she's not staying in the house anyways. I would have, boy, this is crazy. I know defense attorneys have a tough job and want to get. Look at his face at the end of this video. He was literally disappointed that Judge Hayward gave this clown 12 months in jail and crediting 44 days at the time. Look at his face. He got pouty mouth. He went pouty mouth. And I'm like, if you didn't break into this woman's home, she said it got so bad that she had to board up her home. And when she's at night, she get notifications and all kind of stuff telling them somebody may be back in her home. It's giving her anxiety. And then the guy is a career criminal on top of that. This is not his first time at the rodeo. He's been at the rodeo, the carnival, and the fair. All over. He's having fun. Nevertheless, for those that don't know me, my name is Antonio with Team Tiggio. You can support this channel through Cash App and Super Chat. Hit the notification bell after you subscribe to the channel, like this video. And once again,
the court, your attorney, Mr. Taz Taylor, is here with you on 2024 CR 05713 for criminal trespass. Mr. Taylor, what does Mr. McGork plead to the offense before the court?
Your Honor, Mr. McGork enters a no-low contingent plea. We have not reached an agreement with the state, so we are entering that plea non-negotiated.
All right. Mr. McGork, you're entering a plea non-negotiated, which means that I'm going to hear from the state regarding their recommendation, and I'm going to hear from your attorney regarding his recommendation before I reach a decision on the sentence in your case. By entering this plea, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to present testimony or evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, factual basis, please.
Yes, trying to give me 1 second. Let me get this file from Ms. Fuana. Give me 1 second, Your Honor.
My apologies, there was another call there. This is Mr. McGork.
Yes.
Every time he keeps coming.
So, Your Honor, on June the 10th of 2024, an officer was dispatched to 7037 Sir Gallad Way, Galahad, in Jonesboro, Georgia, where the incident occurred in Clayton County. The officer was dispatched due to an alarm that occurred at the residence. Once the officer arrived on scene, he observed the house appeared to be vacant as the windows and doors were boarded up. The officer did observe the garage was unsecured and observed a male, the defendant, to be who was later determined to be the defendant, asleep on the ground. At that time, the officers made contact with the defendant. And placed him in custody at that time. The officer then read the defendant's his Miranda rights. He did agree to speak with him. He explained that he did not reside in the location, and he had entered the vacant residence, trying to avoid being stuck in the rain. That concludes the facts, Your Honor.
All right, what's the recommendation? I know he's one of my frequent flyers.
Okay. I believe the recommendation was 12 months to serve, Your Honor. That's not mine, but.
Yeah.
And also, Your Honor, the victim is present and would like to provide a victim impact statement.
All right, and who's the homeowner in this case?
1 second, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, I just don't know who okay, Ms. Davis. Ms. Davis, if you would unmute for me.
Yes, Your Honor. My name is Marilyn Davis, and I am the owner of the property there.
Okay.
And that is my residence, and my residence has been destroyed. And I was mandated by Clayton County to board up my residence because I work out of town frequently. And over the last 2 years, my home has been destroyed constantly. It's to the point where I can't even go to sleep after work because my alarm is constantly going off. I came home to my residence on June the 11th to find that my home had been destroyed. My garage was destroyed, even to the point where carpeting had been taken off my floor in my residence, and my kitchen sink had been taken out of my home.
Okay. Do you think that if the fact that the home is boarded up makes it what we call an attractive nuisance, and that there are several people going in, or do you think that Mr. McGork was squatting? Do you have any evidence of any of that?
I don't have any true evidence of any of that. I just know that my home has, over the years, like I said, there's been people going in and out of my home. My home is boarded up basically because most of my windows have been torn out of my house over time. Yes, ma'am. And I've had to board my home up because of that fact. I have poured money into keeping up my residence, and my residence was intact up until about a month ago, which is like June 11th, 12th. Like I said, I just basically got a dumpster and took everything else out of my house that hadn't been destroyed because my house has been basically just destroyed. So I just took it upon myself to take everything out of there. So there's minimal stuff in there because it's torn up anyway. It's not livable, period.
Okay. All right. What's the recommendation from the defense?
Your Honor, Mr. McGork has been in custody for 44 days. He was taken into custody on June 10th. We're asking for 12 months to serve 44 days with the balance suspended upon not returning back to the property that's owned by Ms. Davis. I don't think it was established that Ms. Davis is a resident. She referred to the property as her residence and her home. However, it's also been indicated that the location is vacant. I just want to.
Well, just the fact that she works out of town makes it no less her residence. She just may have a long-term assignment out of town. Doesn't mean she has moved to the other place. It's just that she's required to be there to complete her work assignment. A lot of people do that nowadays.
And the police report does not indicate that Mr. McGork entered her residence, just that he was present in her garage or on the property, the curtilage of the garage where he fell asleep. There's no indication from the police report and no I guess testimony, for lack of a better word, from Ms. Davis that Mr. McGork actually caused any property damage on the date in question.
So I'm clear, because I've seen him a bunch of times, that Mr. McGorrick is chronically homeless. But I'm trying to balance the fact that we're talking about maxing him out to 12 months, and I don't even do that a lot with people who have been in violent situations, if there's an alternative, as opposed to 44 days when I know I'm gonna see Mr. McGorrick again. It's very little likelihood that I'm not gonna see him again. So from the state, what is the justification? And I know, Ms. Janvier, you said that this was not your recommendation, but is there a justification for the recommendation being the 12 months to serve?
Your Honor, I would believe that potentially the recommendation is based on the extensive criminal history of Mr. McGorrick. I believe that he has over 40 cycles.
All right, and
several
go ahead,
probation
sorry.
violations. I'm sorry, several probation violations. And so I'm assuming that it was the thought that probation was not a good probation candidate.
No.
And then additionally, I'm going to go with the number of cycles he's had.
All right. So at this time, Mr. McGorrick has entered a plea of nolo. The court is gonna sentence him to 12 months to serve 120 days. Credit since lockup. Balance will be suspended as long as he does not go back to the location at Sir Galahad Way in Clayton County, and as long as he has no new violations of the laws of the state of Georgia. All right. Mr. McGorrick, you can go back with the sheriff's office.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
All right. And Miss Davis, property is too important, and my heart goes out to you that you're trying to earn a living and you keep coming back to destruction. Not my call to tell you what to do. A management company might help, but I'm not sure if that's gonna be something.
Okay, so thank you all who have sat through this video. Basically, put it in the comments. How do you feel? Do you feel that the gentleman should have had more restitution and he should have received bond and was able to get out of jail? Or do you believe that Judge Hayward was absolutely right to retain him and remand him to jail for his actions? The lady testified that her home was totally destroyed. Not halfway destroyed, not anything. She said it got so bad that she just gutted the whole home because that's how bad that they took. Remember, they ripped up carpet, they did everything, and they literally stole her kitchen sink or a sink. A sink was stolen. Maybe it wasn't kitchen sink, but it was a sink. And people shouldn't have to live like that. You should be able to buy your home and let that home sit without anybody just marching into your house and claiming it like they're a sovereign citizen or something. Just silly. And on top of that, the pouty mouth lawyer, he gets mad that the guy couldn't get off. What, was he your brother or something? This dude destroyed this woman's home. It's places like Georgia, they reversed those squatter rights. That's gone. They are putting you out and they're charging you with either misdemeanors or felonies being in somebody's home. All before, they treated it as a civil case. Now it's being charged as a criminal case. So you can sit around here and play crazy and they're going to keep locking you up. That's just the way it goes. But thank you for all who sat through this video. You can support the channel through Cash App, Super Chat. Like this video, hit the notification bell after you subscribe to the channel.